Am I the a-hole for wanting to tell my soon-to-be ex-husband that I know he cheated with our best friend?
Advice needed.
My 27F soon-to-be ex-husband, 27M, cheated on me with our best friend, 27F. I want him to know that I'm aware, but I don't know how to go about it. Hi all, I'm sorry this is lengthy, and I apologize if it's confusing. Back in November 2023, my soon-to-be ex, Jay, sat me down and told me he wasn't in love with me anymore while our best friend and roommate, Marie, was away on a work trip. I begged him to try working things out and to attend couples therapy. Initially, he agreed, but shortly after, he asked for space. I respected his request and went to stay at my sister's house out of state for the entire month of December 2023 while he and Marie stayed at our place. Marie, who is supposed to be my best friend, didn't reach out to me once. On New Year's weekend, Jay asked for even more space, requesting we don't talk for the weekend so he could think about our relationship. I obliged, hoping he'd want to stay, but deep down I knew it was over. On New Year's Day, I called him midday because I thought the weekend was over and it'd be okay to reach out. He didn't know it, but he accidentally picked up, and I overheard him yelling about how I was annoying him and that he was following our no-contact agreement by ignoring me. I immediately hung up. Eventually, he called me back, claiming he had been yelling at someone who cut him off while he was driving. He also said he was busy with work-related tasks and couldn't talk. Desperate for communication with our marriage at stake, I called Marie, but she didn't pick up. Later, she texted, saying she was driving back from a rave that weekend and couldn't talk. When I spoke to Jay that day, I confessed that something felt off, and he responded by saying he wanted a divorce. In January, I flew back home, hoping we could live in separate rooms and work on fixing up the house to sell. It's in both of our names. But after a week or two, Jay told me he couldn't live with me anymore. Given my income and the way we divided responsibilities with our pets, it supposedly made the most sense for me to move out, while he and Marie stayed. Hindsight is 2020. After moving out, I still visited the house regularly to do laundry, and I attempted to maintain a friendship with him. Over the next 10 months, I was devastated, trying to understand why Marie was distancing herself and barely giving me any time. Jay spoke to me as if he cared, even telling me I was being manipulative, while claiming he knew it wasn't intentional. But looking back, it was all just talk. I know that trying to be friends right after separation is unwise, but they were my only support system. I live halfway across the country from my family and friends. The whole time, I had suspicions about Jay and Marie. Both denied any romantic involvement, and I felt guilty for doubting them. I tore myself apart, constantly wondering if I was truly manipulative. I was in therapy weekly, questioning every single thought, and, at my lowest points, even feeling like I had nothing left to live for. Fast forward, Jay quit his job in February when I moved out, and finally found one that would hire him in September, on the East Coast. So, we agreed to sell the house. In September, when I visited to do laundry, Jay and Marie informed me that Marie was moving with him. They repeated that nothing was going on between them. After a lengthy silence where they just stared at me, I finally managed to speak, albeit while fighting a panic attack. They brushed me off, saying they needed to be selfish and focus on themselves. Overwhelmed, I went to the laundry room, sat on the floor, and sobbed. Marie eventually found me, held me, and reassured me, looking me in the eyes and saying she'd never do something like that to me. Jay also looked me in the eyes, promising nothing was happening. I told Marie then and there that her choice came at the expense of our friendship. She apologized, saying she was sorry things turned out this way and hoped I'd find happiness. Since then, I haven't spoken to her. She blocked me on some social platforms, so I did the same for the rest. Jay and I barely communicate, and he didn't even wish me a happy birthday. 2 days ago, a mutual friend listened to my side of the story and informed me that over New Year's weekend, Jay had, in fact, attended that same rave. He'd shared a hotel room with Marie and even confessed to this friend that he was crazy about her. I feel like I might actually explode from the anger. They lied to me for nearly a year, making me feel like I was the one losing my mind. I want to tell Jay that I know everything and let him know how disgusted I am. But our house is still on the market, and he's waiting to file for divorce until it's sold. Should I hold off, or would calling him out complicate the process? I've even typed out a long message, and all my friends want me to send it, but I'm scared it will make things harder. I feel like this anger and betrayal are consuming me. What would you all do?